Here. I am with three of the most incredible Lego product designers in the world. Below me is Justin. Right over there is Niek. And down there is Nick. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate this.
No, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just gonna chat some Lego. Let me tell you what I've been doing. I've been working on a project for Beyond the Brick. I stayed up all night editing.
Mm-hmm.
I mention all three of you in the video.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And I have not slept in about 27 hours.
Is this a call out video where it's like you're gonna unveil some kind of dark secret about us? Is that?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
We'll see where it goes.
I have my lawyer on speed dial.
I don't think so.
You have a lawyer? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing? You all look like you have beautiful rooms there. Your rooms look better than the last time I saw you.
It's true. My this part of my room is amazing, and the rest of my room is absolutely terrible.
Basically,
kind of like taken all the stuff and pushed it away.
Yeah.
And
Very
you've all
carefully curated.
You've all been working from home for like 2 months, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean the offices are open again, finally, which is great. Well, they actually never really shut, but they just limit the amount of people in them. So yeah, we've started to migrate back to Billund, and yeah, it's been fun, right? It's good to get back to work.
Wow. Okay, so you've just started going back into the office this week, or?
I've been 2 weeks. I think you've been at what this week, Niek?
Yesterday was my first day back.
I've been like on and off occasionally. It's sometimes I'll go into the office to kind of like get a few tasks done and also help other people get tasks done so that they don't have to go into the office.
He's delivered me a lot of Lego.
Yeah, been an escort quite a lot for purchase bricks. They're like specific brick that you're missing to complete your model or test something out. You don't have it at home, so.
Yeah.
See, I've just been taking models.
And like a single one for one brick.
So, Niek, you have behind you one of my touchstone sets, but it's from a theme that often gets a lot of flack. And it's the other direction. The other direction. It's the ship from Time Cruisers.
Yes. Great story. I really wanted this set as a kid always because it kind of embodies. It's a little bit dusty. It kind of embodies my childhood because I just really liked things that were very absurd and bizarre. But it's kind of hard to convince your parents to buy something like this for you because they're like, "This looks like a mess," and it's like, "I know, but it's my kind of mess." So I actually ended up getting a boat hull instead and then making the model myself when I was a kid. And
is that it?
This is not it. No, this is not. I left most of my Lego collection back at home, but this one I actually bought at Scareback Fan Weekend where they were selling both this and the time lap, which is actually behind it, new in box with German audio drama on cassette. So I have never bought secondhand Lego faster than that. I bought both of them for some ludicrous amount of money, but it was worth it because now I can finally kind of close that book in my childhood. Actually, built this set. It was amazing. It's so weird.
So I think if you look at the Lego set long enough, like in your childhood, then it will just kind of imprint on you. So that set is basically just your brain, right?
Yes. This is what happens when I go into work. This is just all spinning. And
in fact, it's how you get to work, right? That's
probably. I mean, if I could, I would. The only thing that's really missing from Time Cruisers, there it is, is the mech, really.
So I have a story about that set, and the reason I say it's one of my like touchstone sets. I don't know that it's one of my favorite sets. Maybe it is one of my favorite sets, but when I was 12 years old, 12 years old, we moved from one part of the United States to a completely different part of the United States, and I was leaving all of my friends. My family was going to like kind of start a new life in a place where my parents had lived, but I had never spent much time there. And they knew it was going to be a hard transition on me. And so they offered me, the opportunity to get like kind of one big Lego set to have. So we bought it before we left Arizona, and I wasn't supposed to build it until we got to Washington. And so I just the entire ride, and it probably took us 3 or 4 days to make that move. And I just had the box in the truck with me, and I just looked at every inch of the box. And I don't remember, was that a flap box?
It was a flap. I actually have the box over there. You want me to grab it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was, the entire ride, I just looked at the box. And then finally,
did you memorize all the text on it?
What was that?
Did you memorize all the text, like the delivery address and the product listings?
I probably knew it then, but no, I don't remember anything now. So when we finally made the move and we got to where we were going, that was sort of my prize, was to build that set. Oh. And I was, interestingly enough, I just got out this box of old like instruction booklets, like Lego magazines. And I just got this out last night to dig through for some of the research I was doing for this Beyond the Brick project. And when Niek pulled that chip out, I thought, well, I bet the instructions for mine are in there somewhere. And so there they are. And this probably,
like,
what was that?
Pretty crazy alternate models, right?
Well, I don't. There's no alternate models here.
The back of the box, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't have the box. Hey, there it is.
There's no alternate models on this box, I think. I think this model is already kind of considered to be an alternate model.
Yeah, you can make an alternate model for a time.
It's already quite alternative. So yeah, it's I guess yours wouldn't have this on it. It's in German or something about an audio drama.
I mean, you never know.
It says SOS from the past, from history or the past, I guess, and then you can flip this open.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
My goodness.
The way they were.
It's amazing, right?
Back in the day.
Oh, so there's a little tool.
That had to have been around the end of the flap, right?
I think so. Yes, for sure. Especially flap with the transparent, because it had the blister in it as well. Sorry if that's very loud. It's right next to the microphone.
The last thing, maybe.
It has the blister packaging inside with all the pieces, like the key parts were in there, right? Like I think the monkey was in there. Yeah, it's really weird to open one of these because I don't think I ever had one of these with the actual foil on it and stuff as a kid. And then this one also had the cassette audio drama, which is bizarre because I don't have anything to play that on. But it looks cool.
Wow, that's wild.
So this is 1 of 3.
That reminds me of like Nico, when we went to, you took me to the Loplet when I was, and I keep getting corrected that like Loplet is just a generic word, but you know what I mean when I say Loplet.
The name of the
took me there.
The Loplet.
Yeah. And there was really obscure stuff like that there, like cassette tapes that were sort of Lego, but they were like a choir singing songs that had nothing to do with Lego.
Yeah, there's there's like a few CDs of people who worked for Lego that formed a choir and sang some songs, and then they recorded a CD.
Yeah, that's
Aguiland Record, I think, some kind of.
I recently got that. I was quite impressed because the one in the Loplet didn't have the cover.
You found one.
Yeah, I've got it with the full storybook and stuff. So.
Oh, very good.
Very, very.
Have you listened to it?
Not yet. No. It's a flexi disc as well, so it's only like a single side, like really floppy thing. But it's really, really cool.
Wasn't there a Fabuland TV show as well, like an animation? Mm-hmm. Do we have like hard copies of that anywhere?
I think Mel might. I think she has them on video.
That makes sense. So yeah, I have number 3 and number 1. I am missing number 2. If somebody can help me out.
Hi, Holly.
Hello.
Yeah.
This really belong up here with my other collectible media. I should keep them out, actually.
What do you guys think about is this a question you'd answer? This is Procrastinators gave $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much for supporting Boon Builds. Procrastinators. Favorite joke or character in the Lego movie? Is that a question you're allowed to answer?
Favorite character.
Lego movie or the Lego movie, right?
The Lego movie.
Oh, you know what? You're my guest, Justin, so you can interpret that question however you see fit.
Favorite joke. My favorite line. Well, there's two favorite lines from the Ninjago movie, and one of them that I've heard recently is, "If you're doing it right, no. If it feels good, you're doing it wrong." I think that's like the line. And then there's another one which is like my favorite member of the Beatles was the robot.
Zane says that.
They're probably my favorite jokes. I mean, the Lego movie too. That's one big joke. It's a big laugh a minute movie. I love it.
Yeah, Lego Movie 2 was just so wild. They really just pulled out all the stops with like showing us everything, you know? That's what I felt like, but
I really love Fabuland in that movie. That was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Fabuland cats and dogs just making the cake.
What is your favorite character / joke, Nico?
Well, I think that them as a character, they were just there. They were there as a neat little joke.
Characters were your favorite character?
So I think they're both a favorite character and favorite joke. I think.
Okay, their characters are a joke, therefore they're your favorite joke.
That's not my words.
I love that moment in the first Lego movie where they're trying to escape Cloud Cuckoo Land and Batman goes out there and he's like to the Batmobile and it gets blown up and he's like and then Wonder Woman is like to the Wonder Jet and it gets blown up and they're like she has the exact same reaction that Batman did. Obviously it had a great impact on me because I don't remember exactly how it goes, but
I think there's a lot of lines from the Lego movie that are very hard for me to remember as jokes from the Lego movie because we just use them in everyday conversation. So things that we say, and then sometimes we say, it's from the Lego movie.
There's also no consistency, which Unikitty uses to describe anything happening in Cloud Cuckoo Land, which is very. It's a very. I mean, it uses a comedy joke, but as a comedy line. But I think people in life will find that this is often the case. There's very little consistency in life, and you should just kind of get used to that.
Right.
So it's a bit of a dark joke, but I really like it.
What about the pituitary gland? And if it grows bigger, then you can hit the dance floor, or there's something like that. I'm sure.
What?
In the Ninjago movie, it's my favorite movie to quote.
Oh God.
The dance of doom, or the
Dance of Doom. Yeah, that's the ending.
Lyrics in the Dance of Doom are great.
Oh, well, that's great. All right. So Niek showed everybody one. Niek showed everyone the model that I asked him to show. But Nick, do you have anything cool there that you want to show everybody?
I mean, is there anything in my background that you want me to pull down?
I don't know. What's the thing next to Ninjago City? It's like a blue and black character.
I think it's Axel, right?
Yeah.
This guy.
Oh yeah.
This is Axon. He's a cool Bionicle guy. He's the most recent Bionicle I was building, so he's just still on my shelf, I guess. I never had him before, so I ended up getting him secondhand in pieces, nicely sorted into pieces. So with the instructions, so I built him, and he's pretty fun. I only looked at pictures of him. He's got a big axe, and he looks pretty cool. He's got fingers and stuff, so I thought he was okay.
I feel like your review went down as you talked. Like the longer you talked, the less interested you sounded in that particular model.
I mean, you know what? He's we're just gonna get rid of him off the shelf. He's gone now.
Oh. Doesn't spot on the shelf anymore.
Nice. I had fun. I'm gonna move the rest of my Bionicle sets.
Brutal.
Which is just in my room.
Yeah. You're kind of into Bionicle, aren't you?
I like it. Yeah, I like it. It's fun.
And Justin, you have a model that's very prominent in your screen there.
No, absolutely. This pirate ship was designed for the Let's Build Together live stream. So if you fancy watching it on the Facebook page, Lego's Facebook page, and it's a lot of fun. And share your creations with hashtag Let's Build Together. Very piratey, very, very fun. Look at this, I even have a flag. Yar, ahoy, yahoo.
Wow.
Very good. Wow. But no, this old goose. This is the Monkey King Warrior Mech, set 080012, and it's installs now. And very drum-like.
It has everything, doesn't it?
It's got a building. It's got Gemma and myself as minifigures. It's got a cloud with the legendary Monkey King on it. It's got Flower Fruit Mountain. It's got a bull minion mech, and it's got the legendary Monkey King Warrior mech as well. Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the foil, the gold, the what are the things that kind of go like this?
Yeah, the flags. I think we call them flags, right? They're very ornate. There's a lot of details to it, right? And then it's got foils here. And the cool thing is if you don't like the pattern on it, you can turn it around and it's solid gold. So you can have a gold Monkey King Warrior mech. It's also got a textile cape. It's got a tail with articulation. It's got legs with articulation.
So is textile the official word for fabric-y stuff?
Yes, yeah. I mean, you can call it capes, you can call it fabric, but yeah, we would call it a textile.
Okay, all right. I gotta tuck that one away. Textile.
But I mean, if it's a cape, it's fine to call it a cape. Like
sure,
textile. It's fine.
I just want to say hi. We got a lot of people in the chat saying hi. There's Jeff McElwee, Dakota Divish, Monica, Silent Bricks, Holly, Tammy. Thank you all so much for being here. I am with 3 wonderful Lego product designers. So what's new, you guys? Justin, for you, it's this isn't a Monkey Kid stream per se, but I feel like I'd be remiss if we didn't mention it.
Well, I mean,
we've got Monkey Kids hanging around.
Buildable minions on their leg.
Oh, hang on, Nico, can you show me that?
Yeah, actually, I can. Hang on.
Hold on. So, do the 3 of you have that model in 3 stages of?
Thanks, Nico.
There you go. Good.
I'll pass it to Boom. Oh, Boom, catch it.
Oh no.
Great.
We were all just building it at the same. Well, Nico and I were building it at the same time. I haven't finished yet. Obviously, there's still some more parts to come.
Man, it looks amazing.
It's very big.
I've got to get it. I don't have it yet, Justin, but I've got to get it because it just looks. I mean, even the ones that aren't done look amazing. Niek and Nick are still building. And,
I mean,
apologies for making it in ways.
Nico made a sketch model for the mech at some point.
Yeah, Nico made the original, right?
The very first one.
Yeah, I did make a sketch model for this mech. I think there was a photo of it online that you can see the back of.
Do you want me to see if I can find it? Because it'd be quite
funny. It was shared on the live stream, right? So when we announced Monkey Kid, there was a live stream video that showed a bit of the inside of Innovation House, which is the building that we work in, as part of a little documentary, which will hopefully come out soon. It shows us working hard on the products. And Nick's on his hands and knees, driving a car across the floor, and I'm in a design warrior mech, right? So just reading on the comments, why the Scottish flag, Justin Ramsden, is actually nautical flags and it's the alphabet. There is also one that looks like the Danish flag, which is behind the Monkey Kid mech. That's not the Danish flag. It's probably a number or a letter. And yes, it is me from Channel 4 documentary. I still wear the shirt. Thank you.
Well, tell people, you mentioned now I'm kind of kicking into interview mode. when this was just supposed to be a hangout, but I feel like I have to ask.
Isn't a hangout just like a really informal interview?
Yeah. We're just. I think in a hangout, anyone can ask the questions.
Okay.
You know, but
Ever seen a ghost?
3 against 1.
have I seen a ghost?
Yes.
I've seen a ghost minifigure.
Oh. In the new haunted house there.
In the haunted house.
Is that with or without the phone?
Oh, but is that a ghost? Is that a ghost or just a man in a ghost costume?
I don't know.
I sent you a link where you can see in the far corner of that picture. I sent you in the private chat if you want to show it on screen. Nico's original sketch for the Monkey Kid mech. The Monkey King. Monkey Kid, Monkey King. There you
go. That'll take me just a moment to get up here because I'm going to move it over to my other screen. And I've got too much stuff in the way over there, but it'll be fine. So this is something I can show.
Yes, this is actually, I think Brother Spreck posted this image.
This just looks like a picture of Justin.
That's how it's
yeah, there he is, Justin.
Did I send you the right link? Oh no.
Oh yes.
You should look at the link that I sent, Boone.
Isn't that,
can I share it?
Oh, here we go.
Isn't that Chris Perrin?
Everyone
on the bull mech, and then on the far right you can see the Monkey Kid mech.
Okay, yes. Now I have the correct. Here we go, everyone. Are you ready? I'm about to share my screen. I'm the only person in this stream that can share his screen because I don't have secret stuff going on. Yeah, so here we've got Chris. Who's in this picture with Chris? I feel like it's a gentleman.
He's our creative director, I think it's his official title. But he was sort of the man in charge for making things happen from the Lego villain side of things, and sort of kept us all in hip shape.
Okay.
But yeah, on the bottom right is Nick's original sketch.
As seen from behind.
Zoom in, you can see some really good MPU as far as Nico is kind of obsessed with.
If you zoom in on there, I can maybe point out some of the elements that I was using because I guess so. In this stage of the process, I should to explain a bit. I guess this is an early sketch model where we had the idea that we wanted to do a really big and really awesome Monkey King mech, sort of this ancient ornate thing covered in gold. Actually, I don't know if the covered in gold thing was there yet. I think that was something Justin added. But I just basically made a sketch model to kind of indicate how big it could be, and that it would be shaped like a monkey. Even though these were things I think we already knew, we knew we wanted it to be big, impressive, and monkey-like. It's really nice to have a physical model to kind of show what that is, to be able to explain to people. So this is just an early sketch model where I was really just focusing on exploring ideas. There's a lot of ideas, and I guess I have a very like spaghetti on the wall technique where I just try weird stuff. And this is, I think, just because I knew it was just a sketch model, this is very, very weird. So I think in the bottom, like around the ankles, you've got the it's like a train tipper kind of piece. It's like this trapezoid shape that we end up using a lot in the Monkey Kid stuff in yellow. Hair is being used as like armor, and then just slightly above in the calf. The calf of the neck there is a 4+ quick start helicopter. Just because I thought it had a cool shape, and I wanted to figure out how to fit that into a leg. I think it is buildable, but it's a very, very strange and ultimately pointless application of a helicopter piece. 2 perfectly good helicopter pieces. There's some like train front thingies.
Like the
cowcatcher.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what it is. The Samurai X mech shoulders on the sides there. Then in the middle, there's a like TIE fighter cockpit piece. Another quick start piece. Because I think it was a good quick start for me making this model to use some of those pieces. There's a Technic piece in the back there with one of those Technic steering pieces up by his neck. I have no idea why that's there.
I think it's because you were messing around with them for the shoulder construction initially. They were initially used to lock in the shoulder ratchet joint you were using into the TIE fighter body. You had like a weird reflected triangle construction in order to hook it into the TIE fighter piece. Because as it turns out, TIE fighter like cockpit piece wasn't meant to be a torso for a giant mech. Like it works for a smaller piece.
So I can't remember. Maybe there still is that same piece also in the shoulder joint.
Yeah, I think it's covered up by the ponytails. The headdress. What is it called, Justin? You should know.
These bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The horns.
Horns. The like fabric. I don't know the official fabric. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that were taken from Nico's original sketch. So yeah.
I was going to say there was a lot of things that weren't taken from the original sketch, because most of the things that like I think you just had to start from scratch, and sometimes we often pass around concept models, and sometimes it's like you pass along a concept model and then the next designer just ignores it completely, and you feel kind of like a bit miffed by that. You're like, I thought I had some cool ideas. Here, I'm totally I'm glad that you did not take anything from this model.
So tell me and tell everyone in the chat, where in the process is the sketch model? Is it the very first thing? Is that like the first time bricks are coming together? Who does what?
It depends what project you're on, and also the time plan that you've got, if it's like the super squeezed or you've got a lot of time. And in this case, we had a lot of concept art from Xiaodong, who was our amazing concept artist, and also a guy called Alex, who's also equally incredible. And they drew a lot of images and pretty much fleshed out this theme as a story and how it's sort of going to look. But then we were brought in, so Simon gathered an elite team of designers to, not myself, but the rest were elite, right? Exactly, elite plus Justin. And he gathered this team to just try and flesh out this world, because at the time this theme was going to test. So test it, try it out with kids and parents alike and see their first initial reaction. So it wasn't like we were creating official models on that day. It was like, this is what the world's going to be. So at that time, I think I was building buildings. So really making these huge like skyscrapers. And
you made some very tall skyscrapers.
No, thank you. I mean, that's what turned into this. In the end, this is taking like the best bits of that and shoving it into a play set. But I was working on buildings. Nick was building the Monkey King Warrior mech. A lot of people were involved on it. And then we fleshed out this world and took it to test, and some things performed really well. Some things performed even better. And then when they came back, then it was time to turn it into official products.
Awesome. I love it. I love hearing. Hey, Aaron, brick designer, just joined us. Aaron, thanks. Aaron? Let me know in the chat. How was the end of Flynn and Richard's stream? I'm gonna apologize publicly. During my break between April spotlights, I've been trying to have some Friday streams with people who work for Lego in Denmark, and I've found that evening time in Denmark is late morning here, so that tends to work, and I put mine at 11, and Tricky Bricks are at 10, and Tricky Bricks sometimes go until 11:30 or noon. So it occurred to me today that I was stepping on the heels of their stream. So thank you all. I hope the end of their stream was awesome. Aaron says, it was fun. I actually just got off the show. I just got to show off my Monkey Kid mech over there. Oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah. Everybody in here has their Monkey Kid. So this is the Monkey Kid, Monkey King mech?
Monkey Kid, Monkey King Warrior mech.
Warrior mech. I forgot the warrior.
I forgot the Lego as well. Lego Monkey Kid, Monkey King Warrior mech.
8000.
8012. But thank you very much for building it, Aaron. Great fun.
I love Aaron. Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it.
I also saw Sam's in the chat as well, Samuel. So hello as well.
Oh, Sam, I missed you.
And Nate as well. We've got, oh my goodness, we're crossing Lego seasons together. So Nate Diaz, I think I saw his comments. He was from season 1 of Lego Masters UK, the original series.
Okay.
Way back when.
Tomorrow night I'm going to be the guest judge, spoiler alert, of Lego Masters Netherlands. So actually, this is great.
Where are they going?
It's coming all together. So thank you, Vel, all my Dutch and Belgian fans. Did I pronounce that right, Niek, as a Dutchman?
You blew my cover.
Very good.
That's close enough be a public knowledge. You're close enough. I'm sure they'll understand.
Well, I'm Scottish with this flag behind me, so I think it's fine.
Hey, Brian says, hey, Boone, are yourself or any of your guests going to be on Beyond the Bricks quarantine show again anytime soon? I'm sure I will at some point this week. And last week, I think I was, I was on when Jang was on. So maybe it's been close to 2 weeks now.
The big one.
That, since I've been, what'd you say?
The big one.
Jang, the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bet I will be soon. You guys are you're all friends of Beyond the Brick, are you not?
Yeah. Well, you're Beyond the Brick, right? You're also in the group with Josh and John and co. So I don't know how we define them all, but we're friends with all people.
You're beyond the Brick.
And also, hello, Brian. I know I forgot the shout out earlier on, so hello.
Awesome. Braden Hughes says, when is Mealtime 3 Boone? Hey guys, sorry, I'm just gonna this is what do you call this? Housekeeping? I've taped Mealtime 3 and I just haven't edited it yet, but I've spent like the last 24 hours working on a Beyond the Brick video, so hopefully I'll be getting back to my stuff ASAP. But right here, right now, we're live with Justin, Niek, and Nick. These guys are awesome Lego product designers. Real quick, I'm sure this is a question you get all the time, but remind me, how long have each of you been at Lego?
We're going descending order.
Descending order? Ascending order? Which?
Descending order. So.
Okay, I've been at Lego for 6.5 years.
I think you ruined it.
Now the numbers get
How long have you been here?
Well, me, I've been at the Lego Group for 5.5 years now.
And right, that's not including your family, right?
Yeah, before then I worked as a Lego master model maker, if you want to call it that, master builder, for 5 years. So yeah, my adventure with the Lego company or the Lego involvement has been a long time.
I started almost 5 years ago.
Okay. Well, that's very close. It feels like yesterday.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends on what context you're thinking about it. Yeah.
It's very, very sickening when you actually sit down and you think, hang on, I've been not sickening in a bad way, like a good sick, but when you actually realize, like, oh my goodness, my life is 5 years is gone. Because when you do something that you enjoy every day, and of course there's days where things don't go right, or oh my goodness, this model, I can't get it solved in my head, but in whole, it's amazing, right? It's the best job in the world, and I literally got goosebumps when I'm saying this. Like, so it's crazy to think how quickly time flies when you're having fun. Like, which is just like, it's so cliched to say, but it seriously is true. Like 5 years, I remember getting on the plane, heading over with my suitcase and a smile, and arriving in Billund, and just day one, right? And
yep,
great.
Your suitcase is falling apart there at this point, but you still got your smile.
I think the joke here is I haven't actually unpacked. Like, I've still got that suitcase sealed.
There's a bunch of stuff that I still have not unpacked. I still have several moving boxes in my bedroom. I'm just like, I don't think I'll ever unpack these.
Why is that? Is it just stuff you don't need?
It's mostly stuff from like other hobbies and stuff that I just don't have that much energy or time for right now. Like I used to do a lot of miniature painting, which I picked up again.
Okay.
Ever since the lockdown, basically. So I've been painting a lot of miniatures again, but still there's still an absolutely kind of intimidating pile of miniatures that are just kind of stuck in my bedroom now, and I just decide not to acknowledge them.
Speaking of painting, I absolutely loved your the two of you, Niek, you guys built like a new-ish version of Nick Bluetooth.
Oh yes, that's right.
And I got to see it in person at Bricks Cascade a couple years ago.
That was me dusting off some of my sculpting skills. I used to do a lot of sculpting back in the day, and sculpting that head was incredible. It was super fun.
I was dusting off my barnacle mocking skills. I used to do a lot of barnacle mocking back in the day.
Well, I love that thing. I thought it was beautiful. Jeff McElwee, one of the wonderful supporters here at Boone Builds, with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jeff. Says, so when y'all were building the mech, and he's talking about the Lego Monkey Kid, Monkey King Warrior mech.
There you go. Perfect.
But I don't have the numbers memorized.
There
you go. Not the forklift mech. Did you have any frustrating parts, like connections, fitting the figure, anything that was a challenge with that particular model?
Nope, I had no challenges. I was just doing a sketch model, so it was just free reign. Do whatever I liked.
For me, it was not having enough hours in the day. I mean, you get a set time plan, and we work to those time plans, and all's great. But you always want to just work on every single hour, even when you're not playing with Lego, having something in your hands. Right, you're always thinking about your latest child that you're going to create, and yeah, it's crazy. Like, so I'll look back at it now and go, oh, why did it do this? But yeah, at the time, it felt right. So I love it. And I think, yeah, I put everything in it at that time. If I went back and things, I don't know if I'd change what I'd change. Maybe more initials on the stickers. I'd get Paul, the graphic designer, to sneak more Easter eggs in. But yeah, frustrations, nothing. I mean, yeah, Nick did a solid sketch model start, and then I took that and took the best bits. Like, it was made from these really cool things called Lego elements, and I took those.
That was my idea.
Yeah. That was your idea, right? The original concept art was made of cream and soup. So
yeah,
into Lego bricks, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, great question though, and thanks for supporting Boone's awesome channel.
Yeah, what you're talking about is very funny as a concept. That I'm not sure how clear it is, because often at least for me, and I know for Justin and Nico, this is also the case, where because we work on each model for sometimes half a year, sometimes even more, just from beginning to very end, that thing kind of just lives inside of your mind. Like, it just kind of stays there rent free. It's just up there, and it's just constantly just kind of like bothering you in your mind, even in the weekend, even after hours. It's like, maybe if you do this, maybe if you do this. I've woken up many times in the middle of the night where it's like I'm just like feverishly kind of phasing in and out of consciousness, trying to think of this very specific solution to a problem that is vaguely related to the set that I'm working on.
But the problem with those dreams, because I get them as well, where you wake up and you're like, I figured out how to solve this thing that I was thinking about. The problem is that, like, when you're sleeping, your brain is a lot more creative, and sometimes it's too creative. So you think it's not actually possible. You just imagine the feeling of it working. You're like, this is it. And then you think about it and you're like, this is impossible.
You're an idiot.
That's why you have to sleep all the time. That's the only way to get around this, right? It's just constantly sleep.
Well, Aaron says, I was amazed by the joint system on the model. Those surely took a while to engineer. It seems like there's a vocabulary of ultra strong joints you guys have been developing lately.
So yeah, I mean, thanks for the question, Aaron. I mean, Niek was the pioneer of this one with his amazing Voltron. He slaved tirelessly, and I think that's the beauty of working at Lego, and also the Lego Monkey King Warrior mech 80012 is the fact that it was a labor of love for a lot of people involved. So Niek helped out a lot because obviously he's the go-to mech guy for me anyway, and a guy called Junior Suzuki who's awesome at building mechs. And the awesome concept art that Xiaodong drew for me. So a lot of people work on a lot of Lego sets. Although I can say, oh yeah, this is my set. Actually, it's a lot of people involved. The engineers who make sure that each part is within the tolerances, and the graphic designers who do a fantastic job on the textiles and the foils and the stickers. I mean, there's not just one person, but yeah, I mean, it's a huge labor of love. But Niek pioneered the the joint system, if you can call it, with the bionicle eye ball joint and the friction, and yeah, it was great.
I think vocabulary is a really nice way of saying copying other people's designs.
It's a homage. I think it's a homage.
I appreciate it.
Nothing new under the sun. Two Watch Videos is asking me, when will you be reviewing the Animal Build Challenge mocks? Yeah, so that challenge just ended yesterday. Nick actually seemed keen on trying to build for that challenge, and then everyone else poo-pooed that idea.
What do we have to build? I can build. I'll rustle up something now. I've got my bricks with.
The challenge is
I have in the moment.
The challenge is build any kind of creature that has a special ability or talent or superpower or magical something.
What will happen?
I'm gonna do that when I get to the Monkey Kid. Monkey Kid, Monkey King, Warrior Mech 80012 bag that has, I think bag 11 maybe has the head off the mech in it. So I'll probably try and make a creature at that point.
But yeah, Two Watch Videos, thank you for asking. The submission window just closed yesterday. And I have a new system, and it seems to be working really well for collecting people's images. And I think at Star Wars, it took me like 3 weeks to get through all of them and put a video out. But for this one, it should go much faster. So it should come next week. So maybe end of next week, I'll say the review video for the Extraordinary Creatures challenge should come. And then Bricks for Geeks. There's so many questions for me. I guess this is my channel. Is there going to be a Lego Masters Season 2? That's not the question I meant to click on, and I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that at the finale, or when the finale aired, there was a website available for people to go audition. So there's at least, some preparations that we're going into heading that direction. However, nothing is taping right now in the United States, at least. So who knows? Who knows what's going to...
If you have watched, sorry to cut you off, Boone, if you have watched the Lego Masters US season and loved it, I mean, there's so many other seasons that you can catch up on. So there's Australia, they've done a season 1 and season 2. There's the UK, that's season 1, season 2, and the Dutch and the Belgian version, which is the finale tomorrow, the grand finale. So there's plenty of Lego Masters that you can catch up on.
And there's a special guest on that grand finale.
We have a lot of fantastic contestants and also a fantastic brickmaster. So tune in for that. I mean, this is a bug. I don't know, a fly, a dragonfly, and its special power is it's really good at
accounting.
Accounting, yeah, it's really good at accounting.
I could see it. It had all its fingers out there, like getting ready to account.
Oh no, they were my fingers. I was warming it up. I was warming the bricks up for the accounting. But the beauty is now you can build your own creation for Boone and say, oh, well, I'm actually doing better than a Lego designer. So there you go. Bring your best shot.
Okay, this is Moto. I built the Monkey King. I built the Lego Monkey Kid, Monkey King Warrior Mech number, and it's incredible. That nose sticker, though.
Yeah, that nose sticker, though, right? Like, chef's kiss. Yeah, I mean, without a nose sticker, how would he smell? And
are the three of you familiar with Moto? Do you know who Moto is?
Yes, I saw his fantastic, I don't even call it, space station? I saw his washing machine, and then in front of the washing machine was this massive space station that he lifted up with one hand, and literally when I saw it, my heart was in my mouth, because like, oh, no way can he hold that up, and he did, and it was awesome. So apologies, Moto, if I don't know the technical term for it, but I'm sure you'll write in the comments.
He in the last couple of weeks, he's been tirelessly building, a three-dimensional sort of like plate assembled wolf head, and he just keeps going through different iterations, and it's amazing. And he just did like a little tutorial about like how to do like an eye that sort of like is layered, so it kind of gives this like depth of this like realistic looking eyeball inside. He's definitely my, you know, I've only been aware of Moto's stuff for a couple months now. He's one of my moderators, and he's amazing. And he's probably the person who has made the biggest splash onto my screen in the last, several months. But Moto, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your awesome builds. Awesome. Yeah, the wolf head is amazing. Holly just said, "Oh, look at all the love Moto's getting."
Yeah, Moto's
Good job.
I haven't met him in person, only on, I think it's Triply Bricks. Yeah, I did a live stream a few months ago. That's I think, yeah, well, you and I were on it, right? And that's where Moto was, showing his
That's it. Yes, and they had me on, and they wouldn't tell me who the special guest was, but they assured me that I would be interested in being there.
And then you were highly disappointed because now I've
I was very pleased. But I think I knew they tried to keep it secret, and I think I knew.
It was you.
And I
You were
don't
the
know.
special.
Yeah, you were the special.
No, it was Justin. I'm not special to Flynn and Richard. To Flynn and Richard, I'm just like someone. Okay. Braden Hughes says, "What is Nick building?"
I'm building the Monkey Kid, Monkey King Warrior Mech 80012. I've just put the arms on. It's going pretty good. It's pretty smooth. It's pretty smooth build.
That's rad. Niek, do you still have the fire engine sitting there somewhere?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hang on. It's currently, where's the this shows my bias. Actually, I have the mech here on my desk, but the mech itself is actually the other side of the room. Hang on, I can go grab it.
Moto just donated. Cheers, Moto. Well,
Holy moly, Moto, you should be keeping that $10 as my thank you to you for being my moderator. Thank you very much, Moto. You're awesome. This thing wouldn't work without you. All right, here it is. Okay, I can't wait to build this thing.
I'm very excited about this set. I think it's my favorite hidden set I've designed. It's just so weird.
I had an ideas set that I wanted to develop that was like in my mind. It was called like Future Fire, and it was going to be like this really sort of like space age, but very, just enough sort of the hallmark fire department sort of imagery to like get it. And I'm glad I didn't do it because you did it better.
I mean, you should probably still build it because I'd love to see that. Fire truck aesthetic and robots have like a weird history of catching up with me. I designed initially Boost. One of the directions we wanted to make Boost themed was like more of a city direction where everything was kind of like rescue vehicles and firefighting vehicles. So I have a giant mech that looks kind of aesthetically very similar to this thing that I made for Boost that we tested. In the end, we wanted to go with the white, orange, and blue aesthetic. But yeah, it was fun to actually revisit this again, especially because just doing a different interpretation of what a fire truck looks like in Lego, right? Because we have the more aimed at younger audience city sets. And then we have for a slightly older audience, we make the hidden side set. So it's really cool to do things like a school bus or like a vintage American fire truck. I guess not vintage, more like retro, I guess. But
yeah.
And then, of course, my favorite thing about it is that the back of it pops off and turns to a mech, which is slowly becoming my calling card for Lego sets.
Has there ever been, I mean, can you think of a fire truck mech? Like I can't think of one. Maybe
one the Lego movie, right?
There's one for Lego movie actually. It doesn't transform.
There's a fire. Yeah, there's some firefighting mechs in Ninjago. There's fire mixel mech.
Okay.
So this is the mech. I really like the car part that we brought back for the Shrimp Shack. which makes for a perfect 2-seater for a mech as well. So, and I really like the silliness of driving a mech with a steering wheel. There's something in there that's just very funny to me.
It's also important to sit on like the right side of the mech.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're in one part of the world, you're sitting on the left
If you're
side.
casting another mech coming from here, you can very clearly see each other, you know.
It's sort of like, in the 80s and the 90s, like every spaceship, you just needed 2 levers to fly. Like,
yeah, that's what he put inside there. That's on camera there.
Yes.
That was Luke's idea. Yeah, you came up with that one, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, there's some extra buttons there just in case, right?
JG with a $1.99 super chat says, when will Washington Square store reopen or offer curbside? I'm sorry, JG. None of us know the answer to that question.
the Lego at home website though is open 24/7. So.
There you go. That's a great answer to that question. Lego Shop at Home, open 24/7. Junkbot is no longer there.
This guy is also in the set, and I love him so much. Like I on Twitter, but yeah, we tried to put this guy into so many sets before, and he always kind of just got booted out because he's too weird. But thankfully, my manager on Hidden Side was just like, I showed him this for the first time with like a really creepily drawn face on it, and he's like, "I love this one. I love him. We need to have him in the set." So he's actually JB's research assistant in the TV show. So I thought it'd be very appropriate for a research assistant to have no arms, right? It's like you can't help her. You like calculations, I guess.
Please get me the tools. He just stands there.
Yeah, he just stands there and looks at that with that supportive smile.
I mean, you can't be angry at him when he looks so adorable.
And then somehow we managed to even get a second face print for him, and that's like
crazy. That's so
a second decorated tile with a little frowny face on him when he's not amused.
No expense.
It's this set has it all for me. Like, it has a weird buildable creature thing, it has a fire truck and a mech and this weird robot guy. And the cool part about him is too, you can have pretty much almost the entire crew driving the mech too, because you can have 2 figures here in the cockpit, and then TV can just sit on the top, and he kind of becomes the head of the robot.
Is that his name? TV?
His name is Seymour TV.
Yeah.
Seymour TV?
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. I love it.
But
Is it just a is it like a 1x2 by 1 2/3 with the okay.
Yeah, it's
and a plate right on front.
Yeah.
It's the Wesley.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's that called? The Leslie?
Wesley.
Yeah.
Wesley. Mr. Hinkle Draws says the internet cannot handle this many awesome people on stream at any one time. You guys need to chill.
Hello, Mr. Hinkle Draws.
The only person that's really missing is you.
Yeah, we miss you. Please show your face. I miss you.
We could. I played this game.
Can we just get him in here? Is that allowed?
Right, it's a lot.
He's on the screen.
It's a lot.
I played this game with the Lego Masters contestants. We did a live stream, and it lasted like 3 hours long. And I think it was a time when we had a week off. It was between our superhero and our Star Wars challenge. There was a Wednesday where there was just no show, and it was just a week off. I mean, when it was airing, not when we were taping. And so we just got in a live stream, and we started playing this game called Who Can We Get in the Chat? And I thought it was a great idea, but anyway, it was great and it went great, but I don't know, I had very lofty ideas about who we might be able to get in the chat, and we had some other
Yeah, you woke up at like 4 a.m, and I saw my phone and it's like, oh, come into this chat, and I was like, oh, my shirts aren't ironed, I can't come on. It's like heartbroken. But yeah, no.
As you know, Justin needs his shirts.
Did I woke you up?
Yeah, it was like 4 a.m, and it's like, oh, come on, chat. And it's like, oh my, I can't.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't apologize.
Usually I try to do that math so I don't bother. I'm always like, okay, I want to text somebody in Denmark, and I'll just ask Siri. I'm like, Siri, what time is it in Denmark? And she'll tell me, and then I'll decide.
Well, like done. The moment passed.
Oh, yeah. Moto, that said, if it wasn't for that game, I would not have met you, Boone. Yeah, that is the day I met Moto. Because somebody, I think it was Richard Flynn, was like, hey, let's get Moto in. And we were like, yes. And then we got Moto. Oh, it was awesome. And he was just there. He was just like building, and he would just like pop in and out. And then it was like every time he popped back in, he had like another like meter of his ship built. It was wild. Boone.
Yeah. Again, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Boone does that to me. Oh, Boone does that to me too, and we're in the same town. I do what?
Rustling back.
I think that's like texting and waking Holly up.
Oh, yeah. Just, well, the thing is sometimes I'll be, well, and particularly at the beginning of quarantine, I was just wired all the time. And it, like, I felt like streaming all the time. So it made me think that everyone else in the world must also be streaming all the time. So I was shocked to find that there were hours in the middle of the night when I could get on YouTube and nobody was talking about Lego. So then I would just go to Facebook Messenger and see who's like green or blue or whatever it is, and you can kind of see who's been using it in the last few minutes. So I'm sorry, Holly. Apparently I'm waking everybody up all around the world in the middle of the night.
But it's a good way.
That bag where you build this stuff.
The tail, the chest, and the head.
Monkey Kid, Monkey King, Warrior Mag, 80012. So I'm just gonna make something else, I guess. See what we can do. Some cool creature.
Yeah. Maniac Bricks says, I don't stream all the time. Haha. Sometimes people sleep. Another good reminder that everyone watching this, if you weren't watching this live stream at the beginning, I should say that I haven't slept in about 27 hours now. And so these guys are very, very gracious to be here with me and humor me while we just sort of chit chat about Lego, because my brain's not really working for driving this boat. But nonetheless, we head down the river and we're all having a good time.
Talking of boat.
So you built that on?
Yeah, so this was part of the Let's Build Together campaign that the Lego group have been doing live streams on Facebook. And Niek and Nick built robots. I built rainbows with my partner Gemma, and also castles. And then this week was pirates. And then also, there's some flowers one. Chris Perron's done a space one. Wes has done some insects and flowers as well, I think. So there's a lot of Lego designers that are popping up, and we're just getting involved and trying to entertain people while they're stuck indoors or run out of anything to build, or just want to see some friendly faces make a fool of themselves.
I was very excited to do the stream because it's something that we don't too often get to do, or we're very much directly talking to our audience, and specifically it's this is why I enjoyed a lot of your videos as well, Boone, where it's specifically about like there's a lot of YouTube content about like sets and stuff, but ultimately I find a lot more enjoyment in watching videos where we actually talking about creative process and building stuff and inspiring people to build stuff. So being able to do that ourselves as non-trained YouTubers, because you might notice from the streams, we're not always like as charismatic as your average YouTuber, but we try, and I think it comes from a very similar place. We really want to inspire people to build their own stuff, and because that's what we like doing as kids, and that's exactly why we turned out the way that we did.
And it's great to get that feedback. I mean, we can.
Okay, never mind. I think Nico should stop building things. Go back to the instructions, Nico.
Because like we can say, share it with the hashtag Let's Build Together, and we can see people's sets immediately. Whereas normally we have to wait 2-3 years before a Lego set comes out, and then you guys build it and then give us your honest feedback then. So it's really refreshing and rewarding, and also the fact we've got to spend all week building classic pirates. I mean, that's amazing. I love it.
And I love building robots, so that was perfect. We built a whole bunch of really stupid robots, and that was really fun.
I've just seen End Talk's comment. Thank you so much. I'll try and up my game for you.
Who was that?
Justin got so many odd numbered parts in this.
Justin has enough charisma for everyone.
Figure out what to do with it. Right, I got some good clown feet. Those are.
Did you say so many odd number parts?
Yeah, just like there's just one of this piece and one of that piece because it's the middle of the monkey kid.
Oh yeah.
Warrior Mech's thing.
Do you? So I really struggle with having one piece because I really like to build things. I really like to build things that are more than one piece. No, I really like to build things that are symmetrical, and sometimes I have to challenge myself to like, okay, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. Like there can be some interesting things going on, but anyway, I just
like building crabs because they have like one huge arm and one small arm.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good example. Okay, so I was I pulled down my box of old manuals from my childhood last night. Mentioned this at the beginning of the stream. Niek and I talked a little bit about this model that we both have and love from a theme that I feel like I hear this theme getting booed a lot, but I loved it as a kid. I just want to show off some like this. I talk about this from time to time, but I've never shown it. This was when 86. So this was one that came with the very first set I can remember was this shell station. I don't know if you've seen that.
I'm zooming with my head, like to look at closer. Right?
Very close.
that shell station there. But what I did with this model, or what I did with this book as a kid, was I looked through all the classic space pages over and over and over again. And I was so fascinated by this stuff because by the time, I imagine that gas station, was probably a couple years old or something. And so by the time I was aware of this stuff, it didn't exist anymore on the shelves. So it was like, they were like these magic things that I wanted that like I couldn't get. So you can even see
very similar experience. Also, like most of the time Cruises was already out of stores by the time that not by the time I was born, but like shortly after.
Lego Mania magazine.
Oh yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah, we didn't have Mania
in Europe, but I've seen a lot of the crazy stuff that is in there.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, didn't get them in England either.
Sometimes there's always like these there's usually like a page in here, if I'm remembering correctly. There's a page about the Time Twisters.
Yes.
Were those the bad guys?
Yeah, I have the Time Twisters up there, just out of camera.
I thought that there was usually a page in here that was like stuff people had sent in. There it is.
I like one of the magazines, which I'm very excited about. I did a photo shoot on the lawn where I was posing with my AAT, I think it's called. It's the tan tanks that the battle droids use from episode 1.
Okay.
But I built it entirely out of grey. I didn't have any tan pieces at that time. I don't think tan was even... No, it must have come out in Adventurers, but I didn't have that much tan. And I used the UFO side discs as the front of it. And I got it in the magazine. I think I've got it somewhere framed on a mantelpiece. But
was this before the Lego Star Wars sets came out?
Yeah, it must have just been before, because episode 1 was when the set came out, right? So yeah, I was a pioneer then, and I'm pioneer now.
It's so fun to go through this stuff. Oh my goodness, this is
I've just seen Joe Dorsey.
I should have pulled this out. So I just I just made reference to this in a video, and I didn't know I had the instructions for it in here.
All the sets are utterly amazing. Like, I love the best one. The best Fright Night set is the one where it's the witch's balloon, but instead of a balloon above it, it just has that dragon. It's just a dragon with a giant gondola underneath it, and it's just swinging around. And the witch is just with a cauldron, just laughing in the bottom of it. It's like that is peak Lego for me. For Nexo Nights, I worked on a little bit of Nexo Nights towards the end of it. For the what are they being called? The vampires? The techno vampires. I don't think they were called that. I think that may have been like a place they went in. The vampires, the techno vampires. I made a giant bat with spinning wings transparent green spinning wings, and then underneath it there was a ship suspended from it. So it was like you had like all the triggers for all the functions were here in the top and in the badge, and then there was like chains going down to the actual like kind of gondola thing that was underneath it. It was that set was very inspiring for me as a kid, because it's like you don't just have to build things that exist. In fact, it's much more fun to me build things that are just total nonsense and just completely off the wall. I love that thing. Never had the set either, so.
Yeah, I thought the set actually appeared on my Instagram earlier on, and I forgot how good the B model for that set is.
It has a phenomenal B model where one of them is just like, does he have like eyes or something, like really big eyes? I don't remember anymore. It's bizarre. Those sets are amazing. I mean, all the arts are really good.
Bob the Biker from Lego Island. No, maybe it was maybe Lego Loco.
I have that book. I don't know how I got it, but I have that book.
I also have it. I have fun.
Now check it out. This one's going to be a collector's item because it has half a Toys R Us label on it.
Really? Oh, all the stickers inside. It came with really amazing stickers inside of the book. Like, does it have all the stickers inside?
Oh, you know, I think that sticker sheet ended up being separate.
Oh no.
So it's probably somewhere, because I remember those sheets.
And there's also a really cool pirate ship where they make a pirate ship out of the boat hull, like the rowing boat hull, which is really fun. That one.
Yeah.
Oh, the small one? Yeah.
I never had enough parts.
Yeah.
I really regretted it. And then I built it the other week. I was like, I need to just get this out of my system.
After like 20 years.
Exactly, yeah, 100 years. I finally built a Lego model.
This was probably this was one of my like favorite sets as a kid.
Oh boy. That's incredible. That set.
I loved it. And it's almost complete. I haven't touched it in many, many years. It's one that I feel like I should pull out, and I could probably even make a video about like, okay, which pieces are wrong and which pieces are right. And
all of those classic space sets are like some absolutely incredibly, like they're really cool, but they're also ridiculously inspiring as a Lego designer. What we often do is that we did it a while ago for last time, but I'd like to start doing it again. So we all just like hoard as many old sets as we can find, and then build them all together.
Yeah, we used to have a thing called Gamelboog, which is like
Gamelboog.
And we'd get one of the designers of the time of that era, because there's a lot of people that we still work with who've been at Lego 40 years. And we'd invite them along and then be like, why are we doing this? I want to go back to sleep. And we were like, oh, come on, let's build through all these sets that we've either purchased or saved up. So I've actually got my latest one. I'm going to show it off. Niek would love it. Maybe I don't.
that is awesome.
So I built this while the designer that made it was sitting right next to me, just chatting about it. It was
what?
Incredible. And it's really cool to go back here, because a lot of things here, of course, we can't really do anymore because these are very hard to build. This is a nightmare to build, to be honest with you, but compared to today's standards, right? And a lot of it's very flimsy. But there's still so many like very interesting features and functions, and the design philosophy behind it is still very solid. Where I think Milan talked about this when he talked about the Barracuda base set, where every piece you put in there has a purpose, right? There's very little filler, and it's just like this thing has this incredible function where there's a spinning wheel here on the side, and when you spin it, there's a gear rack that slowly unfolds this, and at the same time, because there's just a single slope behind this little car here, it gets pushed down, and it kind of just leaves the cockpit, and then you can use it to drive around and drop the kind of little cages that they carry around with, and then it also just gets sucked in. So you put it back in like this, and then it gets sucked back into the cockpit. It's like it's the simplest function ever. Like the Blade's build is super simple, and it's a little flimsy sometimes, but that stuff is just extremely inspiring. It's
the pods, the little prison pods on the back of this one are sort of similar. They're
they pop out, right?
They're even simpler, but is the wing, you just unlatch a thing and the wings flip like this, and because it's those like what is it? It's like a 2x2 slope on 3 sides, you know, that pointy thing, and it just sort of like picks up the thing, and it's so simple. Incredible. I was blown away at how simple the whole mechanism was on the haunted house.
Oh yeah.
I was in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's gotta attach to a thing, and then it's gotta get up to the top, and it's gotta detach from the thing, and it's gotta, then like fall down, and those doors have to open. And in my mind, I was making it so much more complicated than it actually was. Like it was all so like brilliantly simple.
I think that's always the challenge is figuring out how to like make something that's like really unexpected, but make it in a way that's very straightforward and like very magical, I guess, where it's like this one small movement that translates to something else, and then something completely unexpected happens. And usually we start with something that's massively overcomplicated, and then we have to figure out how can we refine this into like 3 simple steps or something.
Yeah.
This is my concept. I'm very excited about it. It's so good. I remember buying a load of these. I was making Amy Winehouse for a college project, and I could buy so many of these just to get the little tentacle piece for her hair. But now I've got one sealed, and I'm so excited. So I'm saving that for the Gamble booth.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I think I have.
Saving it for the what?
I've been building some similar ones, small ones, to help tide me over until the next Gamble booth.
Gamble booth. You'd have to come for it, Boone. More than well.
Okay. What is the what's the general consensus there in Denmark about monorail?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I had all of it. I was very spoiled as a kid for stealing it from my brother. Yeah, I love monorail. I think it's great.
I got one on my shelf. It's pretty cool.
Okay, good. All right. Okay.
Try it out. Cool. I can understand why people like it.
I feel like there's been a little bit of a shift, at least like maybe in my region, or maybe in the groups that I follow or something. But I feel like there's been a little bit of a shift from like, oh, why do the monorail people so diehard about the monorail? But it has shifted a little bit to like, okay, we kind of see why you like monorail. And that has just happened in the last couple of years, and I'm pleased for it, but I don't know what to do with it. Anyway, it's like I want to use it in every single thing I take to a convention, but then what? Then everything I make is sort of similar. But
I'd not actually seen one in real life until probably 2 or 3 years ago when we did one of these old building days, and we brought 2 of the designers that worked on 2 of the 3 monorails in, and it's incredible. Like some of the engineering, specifically the switches, are just like mind-blowing. Like it's so complex. Like, I mean, it's a complex element, but it's very simple solution that they made to make sure it doesn't just derail when it hits a switch, right?
Right. Yeah. I loved. I had never done this before, but in a build we made for our last local convention, I just made a big continuous loop, but it had a loop at each end with the switches. Mm-hmm. And so it would go back and forth on the main length of the track without ever changing direction. So the front of the monorail was always the front of the monorail, and it would go through the loop, and it would come back and kick that little switch over, and then go back the other direction on the track. And it made for a really easy way to, run it all day long at a convention without babysitting it. Because it was cool. Well, thank you guys for that. I love geeking out about monorails. So I appreciate it.
I don't know if you've come across him. Not a Lego designer, but a fan designer, and he's called Masao, and he makes his own monorail track.
Is it the blue?
Yeah.
Blue, yeah.
Incredible to see, and the fact that it all bends and turns, and he just sits there with his controller. Oh, it's pure poetry in motion. I absolutely love it so much.
Yeah, the incredible thing about that is he can really do anything he wants with it, right?
Sloping, turns, all sorts of stuff at the same time. It's very cool.
Yeah, I've found that the original monorail track is a little more forgiving than I would have thought. Like we did some sort of interesting terrain, and we just kind of let the monorail lay, and because it can go up hills, it can go up, the incline that was manufactured, and it can also go up an incline that's sort of just fudged. But anyway, Somebody said so. Holly said, "Who doesn't like monorail?" And Daniel Brick said, "Who doesn't like Bionicle?" So there you go. Is that a real thing? Like, are there? I feel like I've heard about that a little bit. Nick, you're really into Bionicle.
Yes.
Do you ever perceive that there's like some part of the fandom out there that like doesn't like Bionicle or like doesn't consider Bionicle to be like legit? Yeah,
there's people out there that have that perspective.
Okay.
I just talked to them about Galador and how much.
Okay.
It's really simple.
Cool. All right, let's see. Maybe hey, everyone watching, thank you all so much. We got Mark Olson, Joe Dorsey. Joe, thank you. Whoa, Joe said monorail. I just made a powered up to monorail adapter, Bluetooth monorail. Sweet. Is it official? Cool. Insane Lego fan, Darth Palpaduck, Holly's still here, Chantel. Hey, Chantel, did you change your name from Chantel to Chantel Builds? That's a commitment. Good job. Hooded One is here. Joey, K. Athy, thank you all so much for being here. I've got 3 wonderful Lego product designers. How much more time you guys got? You want to do like
another 100 hours just for you, Boone?
10 like
coming along. I gotta finish this.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
It's becoming something, but it's not done yet.
Is that your extraordinary creature?
Yes. It's some kind of like space pirate monkey man.
Did you say space pirate monkey man?
Yeah. I mean, it may change. I haven't really added it. I don't know. There's no tail yet, so maybe it's not a monkey yet.
There's a small tail on the left-hand side of it, right? Or your right-hand side?
Oh no, that's his coat. I gotta put this.
Apologies. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what the word is. I don't know what coats look like. Sorry, I only wear shirts.
Well, it's kind of like a onesie, really, because it's the same color as his pants.
And his shoes too.
It's one they only have wearing.
He's got
a space.
He's wearing a onesie with feet on it, right?
Oh no,
it's the same color too. So
it was like I think that's fur. Which, if he's in space, that's a bad idea. You should have a properly enclosed onesie.
Hold on, show us that one more time. I've got you full screen. That's rad, man.
It's coming together. I'm gonna put another one of these guys on this side, and I'm thinking giving him some kind of. I wanted to give him a big cannon arm, but I don't really see any cannon pieces.
Wow.
So I'm sorry, Nico.
Yeah. Really weren't thinking ahead when you were making this Monkey King neck, head, torso, and tail.
I was gonna ask if I'm
liking these bits. They're good bits.
They're my gift to you. I hope you know.
Thank
you. Nico's back.
Chantel asks, Boone, do you have any pets? No, I don't have any live pets. But I have a puppet. I have a puppet here that I get out when I'm on Flynn and Richard's stream and they bring their dogs out. It's like everyone brings their dogs out.
What's the puppet's name?
Barkley.
Okay, yeah. Strong name.
I don't really take that seriously. I hope everyone knows that. Now might be a good time to end the stream.
There.
What'd you say?
Why is he so accessible?
Because I need him when. So Flynn and Richard have on their stream. It's called like, what do Flynn and Richard call their cookie time?
It's just called cookie time, isn't it? Or I don't know.
Yeah,
of course, I don't know what was going on. Maybe it's a US thing, but it's very novel.
No, it's just their thing. It's just their thing, and everyone that joins them participates and brings out their dog. And Logan, that's it. Logan Cookie Time is what they call it. And I think it was just something that they did on accident, like in one of their first streams, and then people started asking for it, and so they've turned it. now they have like a jingle and they have an animation, and Logan comes out and they give him a cookie, and I felt left out because I didn't have a dog to come, when I'm like joining them as a guest on their stream. And so I went and grabbed this puppet dog from the puppet bag, in the closet.
Of course.
Closet. Something you want to talk about?
I don't know if I properly stocked my puppet bag.
It's really sad too, because it's a big black garbage bag that's just like stuffed with puppets and shoved up into the closet. This is what you get from Boone after he hasn't had sleep in 27 hours. I'm saying a lot of things I wouldn't usually talk about.
Well, we're getting to know each other. I think it's very good.
There you go. There you go.
About your puppet bag. Boone puppet bag.
Oh. Hey, I'm looking for some questions here that we can ask. Oh, this is a good question. This says from Brian, hey Boone, is this a regular time slot stream that you're doing or just as and when? So Brian, I have a more regular stream called AFOL Spotlight Live, adult fans of Lego, and we spotlight different people and talk about different creations and people's stories. I'm taking a break from that right now. And I don't know why I thought that like doing something less, that was a stream that I put a lot of energy into each week. And it was much more formalized, and I made sure my guests were like very well prepared, and I put a lot of, I decided to stop doing that. And then I just had some people who were from, drastically different time zones who, we were in conversations, and I was like, well, since I'm taking a break from it's typically Thursday evenings, I'm Pacific time and I do it at 6 PM, but that's the show I'm taking a break from right now. So in the interim, I just, 2 weeks ago, I talked with Carl Merriam and Mike Psyche. Last week I talked with Jan Bayer, and this week I'm with these three guys. So it's just for a little brief number of weeks here, I'm talking to cool people from Denmark, or not from Denmark, but cool people who work in Denmark. And 11 a.m. my time on Friday is 8 p.m. their time on Friday. That's been working. Brian, that was a really long answer to your question. Sorry about that. But so this time slot is only probably going to be around here for another couple weeks, and then I'll get back to my other show on the Thursday evenings.
I've just seen that Paul Streifler is in the chat as well. So now we've got Paul and Kevin Hinkle. That's a pretty strong chat to get them involved, right?
Oh, I don't see Paul.
Talk to Paul.
Oh, hey, there he is. What's up, fellas?
Hello.
Hey, Paul.
Good to see
him, Hinkle, and Keld, Kurt Christensen. And also Kim Thompson. Oh my goodness. And
that picture is
that's all Lego Legends right there.
Yeah, that's a wild picture there. Boone, have you ever tried doing a Bionicle mock? I've never built like completely Bionicle. I enjoy using the pieces in some other types of builds. I did build a Pee Wee Herman that is sort of like the same scale as the Star Wars like construction figures. So there's a lot of Bionicle in that, I suppose. But there was a lot of system worked into, and I built his scooter out of system and some Technic, and I mix it all. I don't really think of it as this or that and that, but
it's the correct way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Olson says this is one you guys have probably never answered before. I'm just kidding. What discontinued theme would you like Lego to bring back? Mark, I didn't mean that. I hope I was kidding around. It's a fairly common question, but it's always a fun one to answer. I think probably my favorite theme. Ooh, maybe my favorite theme of all time. And I want to be careful saying this.
Big word.
Because I might regret it. But if I could bring back like a whole theme, just like as it was, and just like get it all new again, it might be like M-Tron. I absolutely loved M-Tron when it was new. It was one of those ones that like I was young enough that I wasn't able to get it all. And I loved it, and I had enough of it that I was like, oh, I want to have this complete M-Tron thing. Ben Kahn said Ice Planet 2002. Yeah, Ice Planet was actually the one that I had. I had almost everything for Ice Planet. But M-Tron was the one that I always wish I had. Do you guys have an answer to that question?
Snap, always
Snap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool themes for a lot of different reasons that I would love, I guess, to be able to see again. Just to pick one, I really love Mixels. Really miss Mixels.
Yeah, absolutely. Mixels is so
small. I was very, very Lego because you were kind of like using just basic pieces and a few special pieces to make something completely wild and imaginative.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, that's the beauty of having
right
Lego designers, is the fact that we can put our love in and passion that we had as kids and from the things that are missing into modern day sets. So as you've seen, Niek managed to put Alpha Team in his hidden side, and the amount of Galador and Bionicle references that Nico put in Ninjago City is unfathomable. It's amazing. So as long as we just keep on doing it, right, it's fun. I keep on hiding secret Easter eggs in my set, so continue to purchase them and you'll find them out. Primo as well. Bring back Primo. I like that too.
Primo.
I've got 2 nieces now, and there's nothing in between that age between Duplo and birth, right? So I've been buying a lot of sets up to gift them, and they love it. They absolutely love it.
Well, you guys, we've been on for 1:26. What do you think we do 4 more minutes and call it a cool 1:30?
4 more minutes? I gotta finish this next quick.
Oh, you want to? We can go longer. We can go longer.
Go.
In 34 minutes, perfect.
Go.
Nico works well under lots of stress.
Great under pressure.
Okay. Okay. By raise of hands, among the 4 of us, who wants to go another 34 minutes?
I can keep on going, mate. I'll never stop.
Okay.
You keep.
Cool. Let's just make it a 2-hour stream. All right, everybody in the live chat, we're here for another 34 minutes. And we're gonna make this a solid 2-hour stream. I really appreciate you guys. You're awesome.
I should have
Well,
broken
you don't have anywhere to get to. I mean, that's the issue, right? If you actually had like an important thing to get to at midday, then I'm really sorry for holding you back. But yeah, for us, I mean, after this, I'm going straight to bed, waking up and continue to play Lego. So you're just holding me back from,
after this, I'm going straight to bed.
Go to bed at bedtime. I can just stay up late. Just keep playing Lego.
Your parents not tell you off. My parents always tell me off for staying up too late.
I'm honestly mostly concerned for Boone to actually go to bed at some point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
By your puppet basket or puppet bag that you've got trapped. You need to have them out on display.
No. This like high school, I was very into puppets.
Okay.
I was like, I wanted to be some kind of puppeteer. I did my senior project in high school on like the history of puppetry. And then I graduated from high school and did nothing with puppetry. So it was a phase, but I still have the bag of puppets.
That's amazing. I look forward to seeing Boone's puppet time. I don't know what you'd call it. On part of the stream where you show off each week, show off a new puppet and give them a backstory. In fact, where you make us as puppets is probably a lot of work, right?
Did you make?
Yeah, well, I should just be building. I should merge the hobbies, and I should be building puppets out of Lego, right?
That makes sense. I remember Weekend at Bernie's puppet with like the arms.
It's very bizarre.
Oh, when we were taping Lego Masters, Mark and Will Arnett and I did this hilarious Weekend at Bernie's bit. And of course it did not make it to the final edit.
Oh,
Probably because it spiraled out of control by the time we were finished with it, and it was no longer suitable for television at any time.
It's just in the Hamptons at the moment, just chilling.
Oh man. Here's some wise advice for Lego.
Some Ninjago suck puppets at some point. We didn't ever finish them, but I still have all the raw materials. I should probably at some point go back and start making them again, because I have the sketches and all the materials ready. I bought all the buttons in the correct colors to match the ninja's eye colors. We have all the yellow socks, some heavy duty yellow socks to make some great looking suck puppets. Should probably at some point get to that, Nico.
I mean, the people need it.
People need it. Ninjago fandom craves an episode of Ninjago suck puppets, right?
Let's see. Well, this is out of left field, but Chantel says, Boone, what did you enjoy the most about being a high school teacher? I taught a bunch of different courses, and choir was one of them, and choir was absolutely my favorite. So that's what I liked most. Oh, Moto. Oh, good job looking out. Moto said, rephrased Chantel's question. Thanks for looking out, Moto. All right. So my brain is literally toast.
That's why right, because you have no more questions to ask us.
Is there what do you think? You guys have all you've had to answer a lot of questions over the years about working for Lego, about being in Lego product design. Are there any questions that stick out in your mind as like, ooh, that one time someone asked a really good question?
No, I've got
your question.
I don't have a question. I have a story. I don't know if that. So I'm going to answer your question with a story.
There you go.
It goes back a few years in the fact that I was on here we go, blowing my own trumpet. I was on a panel at Comic-Con promoting Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. And it was a fantastic panel, fantastic guest, and the game is amazing. So it's out now. Go and purchase it. All great. But it came to a question time. So obviously I was super nervous because here I am in front of 2,000 people and really jittery, and it's crazy. Even got goosebumps thinking about it, like just how mad it was. And this small child came up to the microphone in front of all these people. So he was way more braver than I was, because he's in front of all these people, just no nerves at all, and just goes, This is the panel. How can I become a Lego? And I'm like, yes, right, I know the answer. I know how to answer this. This is perfect. I'm lined up. A Lego TT Games designer. I was like, I missed my time. I missed my chance to answer it. But luckily, he found out how to do it, and hopefully he gets to work for TT in a few years. But I was so geared up, ready to answer it. So there you go. I think that's probably my favorite question I've ever been asked. How do I become a Lego TT Games designer? So it was great. Maybe that's not the best.
I really like answering questions about processes. I guess I'm kind of a weirdo for processes, but I really enjoy there's so much that goes into a Lego set that people have no idea of, right? Like all the testing and all the meetings and check-ins that we have to do to make sure this is the optimal quality. It sounds very boring, but there's just we literally test our models in an oven to make sure they hold together, and that's just like, people are just like, what? That's ridiculous. Like,
what's even funnier, if the model is too big, then we'll take it to the local sauna as well. So it's even like
sauna.
We don't have an oven big enough for
we have industrial sized ovens, but in case those aren't big enough, we have a sauna, like a town over, basically, where they just put the Millennium Falcon or the Star Destroyer just in a sauna for a while.
Ben Kahn said, I would love to watch a documentary about the process of making a Lego set from start to finish.
I think you're in luck.
Sam Johnson, so actually he was on this chat a while ago. He was in a documentary, I think on I want to say the Discovery Channel, or maybe called like Amazing Factories, or
was it the Factories one? Yeah, I've seen the Factories.
Yeah, and he takes you through how to make a Lego city set. That's the beauty is there's a lot of there's like 300 designers, and a lot of us have appeared in documentaries over the years. So one of the documentaries will show how to make a Lego set from the start to finish. So, plus, yeah, if this Monkey King documentary comes out, then yeah, there's a bit about
stuff.
The theme, right? A whole play theme.
Well, more so, it's about how Justin makes a Lego set.
Yeah, which is totally different to how you're meant to make a Lego set, because I just pull bricks out onto the floor, get on my hands and knees, and get building.
Give the old Justin Ramsden treatment. It's like first group.
The old 1-2.
Everybody gets to fly that way.
So was I think like a week ago, I was unclear about where the concept for Monkey Kid came from, but it is a Lego IP, but it comes from a legend. Is that?
Yeah, it's based on the original Monkey King legend, but it's the next chapter. So we've built upon that 500-year-old story and just given it a fresh new twist and the next adventures. So it features new characters and whole new crazy adventures that the team go on. So it's super fun.
I feel like I've seen. Here's a question for you. This is honestly something I don't know the answer to. It seems like lately, and maybe I've just never paid attention before, but it seems like okay, what minifigure CMF are we on now? Is it like 21 or something? It doesn't matter. But whatever the last one was, so like the one that came out last year, it seemed like it had a couple of characters in it that relate to products that are coming out right now. Is that true? Is that intentional? Like, how does that work?
Sometimes it's just completely by random, but
those minifigures are actually made much earlier sometimes than a lot of the sets that we make, because they often involve a lot of new element development and stuff, that kind of stuff. So I remember that the Monkey Kid figure was pretty much finished before. So the Monkey King figure for the collectible figures, that one was finished before we even knew that Monkey Kid was actually going to be the direction for the theme that became Monkey Kid, right? Yeah, so that was all done and ready. So and then it was terrifying walking into stores and just seeing this figure on shelves when you know that's also in one of the most confidential areas in the whole building. They're working with something that looks very similar, and you're just like, this shouldn't be here. Oh, never mind. It's okay. It's just a collectible minifigure one.
But the Monkey King minifigure from the collectible minifigure series was also designed by Xiaodong. Well, it was designed by Austin, who was the graphic designer on it, but Xiaodong also helped on the concept art for it, who then worked on Monkey Kid. So it has a lot of similarities.
So were there like different ideas early on that could have been that didn't become a thing because Monkey Kid was sort of the one that
we did a lot of exploration, and there were different ideas that could have been and could still be. So
yeah. Cool.
I mean, that's the beauty of it is even if a product doesn't come out now, I mean, it could do in 2-3 years. I've had models that are made for whatever it be, and every year they come up into a different theme and get rehashed and recolored, and eventually they come out in another theme which they originally weren't meant for. So and that's the beauty of all of us. Like, we take bits and bobs from each other that, you did the bit that would end up in the Lego Batman movie, and now I'm going to put it in Marvel superheroes or whatever it be. So it's
a lot of Lego Batman movie sketch models are still just like very dusty and floating around different projects right now, because there's so many vehicles made for that movie that just kind of didn't end up being used for obvious reasons, because it's how creative process works, right? But it's funny because there's so many of those Killer Croc trucks just kind of floating around.
I'm just going to take a second. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you guys off, but I'll just take a quick second. I've seen Angelo ask this question a couple times. When is the next the challenge review video coming? I answered that a little bit earlier in the stream, and it should be end of next week. End of next week is what I'm aiming for the review video for Extraordinary Creatures. So I feel like I hear a lot about product designers who are like on a specific team or theme, but then I also hear a lot about you guys like sort of like helping other people out. Does that happen a lot? Is that sort of like officially part of the structure, or is that sort of like an informal thing that happens, or do you understand what I'm asking?
Sometimes we're all in the same building. So yeah, like I'll just wander over to Justin's area to see what he's working on and like just bug him about trying to get my color changes into his set. And vice versa. So like we kind of like see what we're doing and we spar and just casual chat. Like, oh, I'm having this trouble with this model, and somebody might have a fresh idea. Or also just like if somebody's thinking of making a piece, then you might know that, and then if you're seeing what somebody else is building, and you'd be like, oh, that piece that someone else is making could be useful here. So you can kind of like build these little organic connections around the place to help everybody out, because we're all sort of working from the same system and knowledge base, I guess.
But it's also great as well. I mean, a lot of us are all friends in real life, although we're colleagues and there's 300 of us and we all get along. A lot of us are friends in real life. So we're constantly going to see what each other does, and it keeps your design process fresh. I mean, like if I have a problem with gearing, I'll go and see Technic. And then if I need to figure out a sweet angle, then I'll go and see Mike Psyche. And like, we all have our go-to people, and then that just makes for a more collaborative nature of design. And then if anything, you're going to build better from it, because like, I like mechs, but not to the extent that Niek would love them. So I'd go and see Niek and go, oh, would this be cool in that? And he'd be like, well, actually, in this episode of blah, 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 they use this. And I'm like, oh, let's put that in. And stuff. And if he thinks it, then there's going to be a few other kids around the world that also think the same. So yeah, we like to just test things out on each other. And as Nick says, yeah, selling color changes and elements, that's also a great one. And going around like a carpet salesman going, oh, do you want to buy my wares? And it's really fun.
Lego All Around said, Boone, have you ever made a Lego brick built Buzz Lightyear? So people who've been watching my channel for a long time know I'm a huge Buzz Lightyear fan. I haven't built anything for Buzz, and I think one of the main reasons I haven't is because I feel like it's hard to come. Most of my elements are used, and it's hard to come across clean, used white bricks. And Buzz Lightyear needs a lot of white, whether it's his body or his ship or his station. So that's why he's been in the back of my mind for a long time. I want to build some Buzz Lightyear stuff, but in fact, hold on, this will be interesting because you'll know I'm serious when I show you this. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Weather's nice. If anyone wants to see this pirate ship again, we go on the Let's Build Together live stream.
I guess I'll show this. This is the mech that I built for the Let's Build Together stream that I didn't finish.
Niek, I have a question. What do you think about I think he's becoming more of like a fast food clerk. He's got a little like mouthpiece on his side.
Jeff has 3 eyes. I think that's really good for a monkey.
Good for looking. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah,
3 eyes.
Who was that?
He's a creature anymore. He's kind of just become his own being.
The supervisor.
Yeah.
Lego All Around, just so you know I'm serious, this is a bag of stuff that is intended to be stuff for Buzz Lightyear stuff someday.
Sorry.
And I think it's probably apparent that is the Buzz Lightyear color scheme, but right now it's just a big bag of mess. So the idea is there. It'll happen someday. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, we're running the channel. Hopefully you did.
Whoa.
Subscribers.
Whoa.
Oh, we got an Ollie. We also got a Mark Stafford, which I spotted. But yeah, hello, Ollie.
Yeah, I saw him as well.
And Sam,
I'm missing some people.
Cheers, Ollie, for the help, and also George. And building together. Let's build.
I heard you guys throwing a term around the other day that was like is it plates, like plate changes or what was it? It was like it's like when you, I don't know if it's like the color of a part or getting a part that, you know,
color changes?
Yeah, but there was like some sort of term for like it was like slate or plate or slab or I'm not calling it up. You don't have like a term that sort of like generally applies to like sort of like requesting changes to a thing, or I don't know. Someone maybe it was Carl. Maybe I heard Carl using this word.
Carl makes up a lot of words.
Carl makes up a lot of words. Okay.
Yeah, you should talk to his son at some point. It's great.
Well, that's fine. Ollie, Ben. This is funny. Ben is asking other people in the chat questions. So Ben says, Ollie, can you tell us some of the sets you've worked on? Do you guys know any of the sets Ollie has worked on?
Yeah, one that he's worked on that I really like is the 4+ A-Wing.
Oh god, yeah, it's such a good set.
I really love that set because that's like the first set with some of the the base from A New Hope. Is that? Yeah. It's got a little section on that build, and that's super cool.
It's one of the first sets to use that new spaceship quick start element, which is probably the best quick start element made.
I mean, I couldn't get it in the Monkey King mech. So
try our best.
I feel like it's not the best, but it's a pretty hot one.
He also did the amazing buildable Olaf from Frozen.
Oh yeah.
He's done a few good sets. Rising amongst the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see a bunch more of him in the future.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, no more. Look at that. It's great.
Oh. Yeah, it's really cute.
And it's available now. Look at that. 24/7.
Holy moly. Is it? Oh, it is available now. Wowza. Look at this. We're making people's dreams come true.
That is great.
Ollie, do you have a brick list on Brickset? I don't think he does, right?
No, he just started doing it on Facebook. So if you have Ollie personally on Facebook, if not, go and add him. You can see what sets he's made. But I think he might have a brick list. A lot of us have these brick lists. I think Ollie does. No, Ollie does have one.
I'm checking right now.
Brick set and sorry for plugging all these things, Boone. Apologies.
No, it's fine.
Other Lego websites are available where designers keep their own brick lists. I think Marcus Presser has no website, but he has his own brick list. He does have a brick list. Look at this. I do have a brick list. Good, Ollie. Good.
Aren't there like doesn't Jamie have there's like a bunch of unofficial Jamie brick lists on Brickset?
Yeah, he's too busy to keep up with this stuff.
Other people just like make them. I love comments like this. Twin Masters just said, "Boone."
Boom.
Good
there you go.
Can't find it in the officially recognized list of set designer. Is it? Oh, actually, no. List right now that Brickset has compiled, and I can't see it here. But
have you found it? Have you found all these books?
One of the ones that I would personally recommend is the one by Jan Thompson, which is one of the guys that we often invite for old building days. He's only showed up once because he's like many others has other things going on in his life as well, unlike us, where we're just constantly building old Lego sets and thinking about designing sets.
I think my favorite's Bjarge Lykke Madsen. So I work with a guy who is a legend, and he not only on his desk does he have like an A4 binder with all his sets, and he takes you through each page, and it's literally you spend a whole day with him, and it's so amazing because all these sets are from my childhood, but a lot of that. Excuse me, I'm getting so excited. I'm actually burping my mouth, but that enthused by Bjarge. But he has written a lot of that information on his brick list. So if you want an insight, and also Adam Grabowski, he also does that. So it's great to go, oh my goodness, I have this Indiana Jones set, and I have this SpongeBob set, and this is an interesting fact that I never knew, and now I can take that to the grave. So it's really great that that some of the designers keep on top of these things.
Mark also has a great brick list, both for himself and also for Raph as well.
Yeah, the Raph one is really good.
And Raph's one is fantastic because it's a brick list that's compiled by Mark, but I think Mark was just sitting next to Raph, and Mark was just mentioning sets, and Raph would just give like one word comment about the set. So there's some really good, insightful single word comments about a bunch of amazing sets that Raf's designed.
So if you have a lot of time, look at Bjarke's brick list. If you have very little time, look at Raf's list instead. They're both
a lot of sets. It is quite there's a lot of words in total, even if it's few words per set.
They're both design masters, right? They're both like
both Bjarke and Rafa.
both design masters.
If we're gonna list top 10 Lego designer brick lists, they'd definitely be up there on the
Absolutely.
which you should check out.
Hey, that's a piece of content that's worth making. Top 10
YouTube eats that up.
brick lists. Okay, I need you guys to send after the stream. I need you to send me your brick list recommendations.
I mean, Justin, man.
Well, I guess
you're all talking at the same time.
How this works. As a consultant, will I be paid for my job, Boone?
What was that?
As a consultant, will I be paid for my suggestions and the work that I do to deliver you this content?
Sure.
Payment in Galador sets.
Yeah. Unneeded comment. No, you get to pay Boone. Holly said, no, you get to pay Boone. Silly. Okay, here we go. We're down to 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes. All right, everybody. This is the last 10 minutes of my 28-hour day of being awake. It wasn't even intentional. You guys, I went so far down so many rabbit holes last night while writing the script for this video that I worked on and I edited. I created so much work for myself. I made it so much harder than it needed to be. Sounds
familiar.
But I think it's gonna be. I think 20% of people are going to appreciate it 200%.
I look forward to this greatly.
That's all you need.
This is only coming out now. If you wanted to finish the chat half an hour ago, I mean, we could have missed out on this moment.
What?
I don't know.
It's not no, it's not coming out now. No, I don't.
I thought you were going to say, right, now I'm going to reveal this thing.
No, it's for Beyond the Brick. It's for Beyond the Brick. So I send it to John, and I don't know when it comes out.
Oh, okay. Well, apologies.
No, you don't have to apologize. I don't get it either.
Expecting a great reveal, but
I think they already posted it.
Did they?
Yeah, I think right before we went live.
Okay.
Actually, I went live about slightly over an hour ago. Yeah, so
yeah, we've been on this chat for 100 hours. So
at least Beyond the Brick posted a video, and it has you in the thumbnail with the haunted house and a YouTube link. I'm not going to click it right now because it's probably going to blast through my speakers and annoy the everything out of everybody in the chat. So
that's it. That's the video.
Right.
Go
Yeah.
watch that right now, people in the chat.
Well, not right now. Watch it in 8 minutes. Chantel said, "You all right, Boone?" I'm just, I didn't sleep last night.
You just live in the best.
What's that?
You just live in.
We're just you know, what else? What else am I gonna do? And last night before my wife went to bed, we had like a 30-second conversation about maybe going out of town today. So sure. Now we'll see if that happens. I don't know.
See what time you wake up.
From going out of town. Also, I've just put the comment where it said, just saw the brick list of Nick. Notice that he's made some modular buildings. Interesting how the designers can switch themes. Very good. Thank you.
Oh boy. So I guess I should talk about how I think on my brick list I've been very charitable in what would require the amount of effort on my part for it to go on my brick list. I like every set is welcome basically. So I think on some of those modular buildings in the comment you can kind of see that like I built like the tree off the brick bank. I made a tree. I would like Jamie made the brick bank, I was just sort of watching him a lot, and then he's like, "What are you doing? Wait, you go make a tree or something. Make yourself useful." So I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go make a tree." I made a tree, and actually he liked it, and so he put it in the set. So I made the tree in the brick bank. So one more for the brick list.
There you go.
That's
it's
really
like
joke as well when you're helping somebody else on a set, and it's like, you know that I'm gonna put this in my brick list now, right?
And then they take the thing that I helped them with out of the model. They're like, I don't want that.
That's like at Nick, when you came to Bricks Cascade and Mark thought you were the designer of Apocalypseburg, and so he asked you to sign it, and you were like, yeah, and so Nick just like signs Apocalypseburg, and then like moments later Mark finds out that you didn't design the set, like you designed, but now we walk around and
I clarified before I signed it, or was it after I signed it? I clarified that I worked on the movie version of the Apocalypseburg, which is based on the set that the master made, based on the movie.
I think I understood that. I'm not 100% sure he did, but I don't think he cared anyway, because then we just tell people like, oh, Nick Voss, he designed the one that the kid had to tear apart in the.
Yep, because the challenge was that Justin made it was so well built that in the movie we needed it to come apart and also come apart reliably in a way that you can shoot the same shot over and over to make sure you get a good take.
Cinematic, right? It should look exciting.
All the strong locking bits that Justin had put in, I need to figure out how to take those out again, and have it fall apart, but not totally fall apart, like fall apart in a very cinematic way.
Right.
So that was a fun exercise.
Justin, the geometry on that build was incredible.
No, thank you. I got help from Mike, I must admit, Mike Psyche, Angle's master. Because my math is terrible, but I make the best of it, right? So yeah, Mike helped me on some of the angles, but no, thank you very much. Collaborative.
I feel like I got to take the chance to just show off my build here.
Is it done?
Runs out.
It's complete. This is an alternate build of Bag 11 of Monkey Kid, Monkey King, Warrior Mech Battle 8-1-2. It's like a dude with, I think he's working in a space takeout, but he's found a little plant and he's not sure what to do with it really. But he's taking it carefully somewhere, because his special extraordinary power is that he cares.
He cares deeply for this plant.
And for that, Nico has just made that from literally the head and the chest of the Monkey King Warrior Mech.
Wow.
Also the tail, I think, right?
The tail, that's in there too. Yeah.
So literally those three things that's crazy. Bag 11, Nico's bag. If you build it, you'll realize.
He looks amazing. Like rock, paper, scissors.
When the first time you showed us that, I saw the the yellow fruit that you peel, and I literally I took like 30 seconds because I wanted to say how excited I was about that it comes in gold. And I literally thought in my brain for about 30 seconds trying to debate whether I was going to say banana or banana. When I said that out loud, and then I didn't say it at all, and I was so glad that I hadn't tried to say it. Anyway, and now an hour later I've told you all the story.
That was a good story. I'm glad.
You don't have to say that. Oh, you guys, you're awesome. I wanted to thank you all and take a moment to thank everyone in the live chat. Chantel, thanks for being here. Twin Masters, Ben Khan, Lego All Around, Moto, Holly, Mark Olson. Thank you all. Oh, Mark with a bunch of banana peels. Joey says it's the final countdown. Each of you, Justin, Niek, Nick, each of you have taken moments to make me feel like a valued member of the Lego fan community, and I appreciate you for doing that. And I know that you do that for so many people, and you're literally day in and day out making people's creative dreams come true. So thank you for the hard work that you do, and keep it up. You're all awesome, and I need to sleep.
Yeah, but you're the most awesome. Remember that. So
thank you so much for having us on. I've had I don't know about these other two guys, but I've had a blast of a time.
Good.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
It's been too long.
too much.
What was that?
Hopefully we haven't rambled too much and my mic has been okay, right?
I think this has been a wonderful time. I think everyone that's been here has been here for a long time and really has enjoyed it. So thank you all for watching, and thank you 3 for joining me. And I look forward to a time when we get to do it again. And I hope that's not too long. Be safe. I hope that whatever you're working on next is amazing. And for all of you watching at home, until next time, go build something awesome. Thanks.
See ya.
Happy building.